Ils doivent jouer maintenant avec le pistolet à silex.
The flintlock pistol
Gars,
is
ils ont dit
a
ça.
great addition. Sometimes it'll just change the course of the fight.
The things you can do is insane. You can get height with it. It shoots pretty far. You can almost use it as an AR at the beginning game just to get one shot. It'll hit for like 80, 90 in the body.
And this is looking really good for Horrify, but the flintlock is going to get the high ground.
The
flintlock is a common and uncommon weapon that uses heavy ammunition. It does 86 or 90 damage depending on rarity, and it has a 2-times headshot multiplier. This means that outside of a sniper rifle, it has the highest single-shot damage potential in the game. However, the flintlock only allows for one shot at a time, has pretty decent damage fall-off, and also takes 3 seconds to reload. In addition to all of this, the flintlock also has a mobility component to it. When fired, it will impulse the shooter backwards, and if the bullet strikes a target, it will impulse the target away from the shooter. This can allow for some tricky plays to be made.
Player there, runs out into the storm, jump,
c'est un bon move.
We've seen a decent amount of use out of the flintlock during the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the qualified players to get their opinion on its addition to the game.
If I'm low on HP and I have to choose one weapon,
Il a 80 points.
you can actually like kill someone from
ça va être chaud pour les streamers.
without taking any shots.
And it's also really good for competitive play because if you're high ground or if you want to get away from
Et tous ceux-là qui sont là, ils sont qualifiés écrits.
So you can get away or you can get high ground over someone. I think it just adds a lot of like different plays you can make with it. I think it's good.
I personally really like the flintlock. I think it's a really good weapon. I think it's a really strong weapon in the right hands. You need to know how to use it. You need to base your whole game around it if you want to use it right.
It's just the kind of weapon we need more.
I definitely think it's one of the better things that have been added skill-wise. I like that it's so versatile. I really like it competitive.
C'est normal, elle va pas s'enlever du juste, ça se voit.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you saw how the flintlock can be utilized in the right hands. What is the best flintlock play you've done or seen? Share it with us using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll be seeing you guys on the
Dans une minute, ça va
encore
faire rewarder encore. Après, ils ont collection de popos. Moi je ferme pas. Je ferme pas. Dans 20 secondes, il y aura les streamers qui vont jouer. Regarde pas Pikachu, j'ai regardé sur HDS. Ça pue! Fallait pas voter pour ça.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup.
Hey, il est sorti le skin lutin.
So if you're trying to make your way to New York City to punch
qu'il y a
that
des gens
ticket,
qui l'ont.
now's the time to do it. If you miss out, that'll be that. Coming up next, we have Asia and Oceania replays. Those regions have already played out. But before we get to that, I asked a question when I was with Sundown catching the end of Europe.
Dr. Lupo.
That was where your favorite drop spot was. And we are lucky enough because of the magic of Twitter and the production team who is always top-notch. A little social walk. I want to see what everybody said about everything. I just want to put this out there immediately. My boy Till Truth agreeing that Viking Village up top, one of the best in the game. Disco, Frosty Dusty, Jung Junction when running solos. Unless it's a hot spot, dropping factories by Flush.
Ils sont pas favoris spots, c'est Frosty Fly, Disco et Dusty.
We're seeing that more and more. A lot of players are picking that up. Mega Mall. Surprising to me, one of the biggest landing zones on the map right now. We've seen it.
Un mec il a écrit son spot le plus cool, c'est Disco, Frosty et Dusty.
Salty Springs again. Pressure plant, and I believe that is the very southeast corner of the map. Some players call it Westworld. There's all sorts of names for these locations where they don't have a POI name on them. It's kind of interesting to see how creative people can get. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm always curious where people are dropping as hard as I can to avoid any of those spots. Thanks for telling me where to not go. But I do want to see where Asia and Oceania go, and in order to do that,
Scafou, c'est pas l'Aladin avec les autres. Ça c'est Aladin anglais, c'est bien. En français.
Those players in this case would be Monster D-Face.
Aladin c'est créé par les Français.
Thank you, Dr. Lupo. Back at it again, Z.
You ready?
Ready to rock it.
I believe you are ready. That's why you gave me the fist bump and not Courage JD. Fortnite fam, we hope you guys are ready because it is finals day. We're hopping into some replays from Oceania that happened this morning. We want to get these guys up to speed, have them, share their moment because them qualifying was a big deal. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get ready to hop into these games together. Is there anything you're excited about? You looking forward to, Monster?
I mean, I'm looking forward to just watching all these games unfold. I follow like every competitive player on social media, so to wake up to my peers, kind of happy that they pushed through. Or, unfortunately, sometimes you get the other tail end of that. See their errors where they kind of fall in line for them. No performance is perfect, and when you kind of go back and really look at it, a lot of times you spot your own errors. So. It's kind of crazy how much Fortnite has developed and evolved and how much more room for perfection there is in this game.
For sure, man. I mean, we can always be getting better, not only in Fortnite, but as humans. And of course, at our ability to eat chicken parmesan, because I will never be able to eat it as incredibly as Courage JD can. 44 players currently.
Graciously.
Yeah, he's voracious with the food. 44 players here in Storm Circle 5. We see this all the time, right, Monster? That was a great pickup of Magsy there in midair. But we see this all the time. Finals day is very different than Saturday's qualification rounds, right? Saturday's semifinals are typically very elimination heavy. Finals, they know what's at stake. They know they have to play conservative, play for points, play for placements, and that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah, it definitely goes without saying that these last days when everything's on the line. There's just so much more pressure.
Faut m'écouter, c'est du n'importe quoi, blindé de monstres, fou. Et mais
people that are able to make it
through Godzilla, c'est un bateau royal.
Sunday for qualification, because at the end of the day, look at how many players don't make it to Sunday. Like literally, it's not easy to crack out 30, 50 points, 60 points if you're on you at times, just to make it through. Like,
non, fou, Jumbo.
There's a lot right down the line. If you make it through to Sunday, you gotta give yourself a pat on the back, regardless of how you do it, because it's no easy feat. And if someone makes it look easy, just understand that guy.
Ils sont 41 de ces petites zones.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even if you don't qualify, right, there's always going to be.
C'est la 6e zone en
plus. In the future, there's always another opportunity. Just
because you didn't make it does not mean
that it's the end of your Fortnite journey or your Fortnite career, right?
I mean, just like everything in life, it takes a lot of preparation, consistency, but more importantly,
c'est la 6e zone. Il peut seulement construire du foie. What? Comment il a pris de la construire?
Still need things to click, even in life.
Il fait peur, ouais.
Things are clicking right here. Scopes, Rebel goes down. Nice little shot from Rona Season. We saw did pull through.
Mais écoutez, moi comment ça fait peur, hein.
Taking that #1 spot over in OCE. He's already on 4 eliminations, so this is probably his maybe second game, right? Because he has 10 points here, and we're not even top 5, has the 4 eliminations, and he's hard. So his game before must have just been his initial game for 6 points total. And now we're hopping in. How are things going to unfold for him? He just hit top 25, so first round of placement points coming out. Don't forget, guys, 15, 5, Victorial. Those are every single threshold, and every elim is a point. So already at 7, I don't know how to do math, just from elims and placement.
Yeah, and if you're new to competitive Fortnite, this is what it looks like at the highest levels of competition when there is money and prize on the line. Not only that, the respect of your peers. People are insane at this game. You might not see Glider redeploy every day in your day-to-day games, but here in the upper levels of competition, they use these kind of items to maximum efficiency, to save materials. So top-tier competitive Fortnite is a very interesting thing to watch and kind of digest. And just kind of from sticking around and studying these guys' play.
Comment les serveurs bug.
especially like the minor differences between different people's play, right? Like you as a player, you might say, I love collateral redeploy, and that is my go-to. I value the shadow bombs more because it just lends itself to my playstyle and the things I'm looking to do. You know, especially as Fortnite
ils sont presque à la dernière zone.
new weapons, items,
Avoue,
utility, all that.
ils étaient 43, regarde comment ils sont à 13.
These guys adapt and just everything in their hands is lethal. It's like gray AR, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna find 10 elims. Gray tech, doesn't matter. 10 elims. Yeah, exactly.
They make it look so good.
Tu sais que les joueurs PlayStation, Switch et tout ça, ils peuvent pas se qualifier. C'est à cause le glitch là. Quand tu vises à chaque fois et tu tires, ça va faire un aimbot. C'est comme un aide. C'est comme un aide à la visée, mais abusé. C'est plus fort que aide à la visée.
Alfie firing down, and someone else is just above him. You can see there, it's brave. I will not lose. He's got the ultimate high.
Ouais.
Alfie says, you know what? I want no part of that. He is coming down.
Ouais, tout en cliquer, tu vas voir contre un aimbot à fond. Non, PC, ils peuvent pas. Ils vont contrôler si t'as.
I mean, this is what separates Sosman from the rest, right? There's so much confidence. This is what I love talking about because that's what resonates with me, is how confident you are in
ils ont dit que PlayStation et Xbox ils peuvent pas et au Switch tout ça ils peuvent pas se qualifier.
He's dictating the tempo of this game, right? Right now, Sosman is on that lowest level. Bray is up above.
Impossible, frère.
Sosman's got 10 elims, all right? This is huge. He's going to try and go against Bray. Now, Bray does have more materials.
Ah, c'est top 2.
But now they're saying, you know, let's go
Ouah, comme ça bug. On dirait ma connexion à SFR.
This engagement didn't even pan out.
Oh. Il va faire le genre le mec, il va sauter, il va essayer de tirer. Il est bête, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Il a pas de construit. Moi je dis, celui-là en bas il va gagner. Je t'avais dit. Ça se voyait trop. Vas-y, on danse. Ah non, ah ouais, c'est vrai. Dans la World Cup, tu peux pas danser. Je sais pas, tu peux pas faire émuler tes adversaires. Ouais, un autre, c'est... What?
He was down to what, like 50 HP and then pops the slurp. And then that other player was so afraid to fire back because he was like, look, this guy's going to crack me in the face every single time. You could just tell.
Ah, mais c'est un replay, c'est un replay.
He sees that win.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's so funny that even with the high ground, sometimes you can just tell a good.
Ah, c'est même pas en Europe, hein.
Poise up in such a way that you're like, dude, if I like look over, like you know.
Ouais, non, il a pas touché. Hein.
Those final moments, you kind of just knew, man, he was gonna get
n'importe quoi.
You know, hate to see it. Not be able to clutch up.
Océanie, je sais même pas qu'est-ce qu'ils jouent à fou. Je sais même pas c'est quoi leur Fortnite.
I think that's making me like sending me back into my previous Fortnite games where it's like I want to.
Tu sais qu'à World Cup tu peux pas prendre des boules.
Like why would he do this?
Mais ils prennent quand même. World Cup tu peux pas prendre des boules, mais ils prennent quand même.
He is crazy good at Fortnite. That's what was going on. Now look at this, Orange Z here.
T'es ma fou, on dirait la Nembot a fouillé direct à fou. En plus c'est celui-là qui a gagné je crois, ouais c'est celui-là. Moi je sais moi celui-là regarder de États-Unis et Europe, et voilà. Parce que Océanie, qu'est-ce que je m'en fous, je connais même pas, je connais personne d'Océanie.
It's looking good. One of the underrated things about the minigun is the extreme high fire rate.
Il a pris un minigun.
In the game when it's fully cooked, and because of that, it can really punch through builds, even if you're trying to.
Moi aussi, je comprends un petit peu parce qu'il peut pas le donner. Ouais, ça merci, j'ai vu.
Try and pressure someone down when they're in the box with it, and let me know if you pierce through the turbo build.
Ouais, il veut me gagner. Non, c'est pas possible, je crois qu'il voulait trouver des nudes. Merci, il est mort, le pauvre.
Players have already punched their ticket to New York City. This is the last solo opportunity. Next week will be duos, but today it's all about the solo action. You can find yourself in the Big Apple.
Ah ouais, il colle bien le
Big Apple for a slice of pizza, like Golden Boy likes to say. I don't know why I like to keep perpetuating that, but here we are.
Ouais, je sais pas, c'est un bug.
30M.
Fou, qu'est-ce qui m'énerve dans Arrête. World Cup, c'est on a 5 sauts de construit. C'est trop bien. Dis-moi comment il campe à fou. Serfi, PDF, je sais pas quoi. L'autre là, il commence à camper. T'as vu, il fait grudge, regarde. Demain, il a même pas vu le mec, il a... Wow. Ah ouais, tu vois les grenades invisibles là, il faut tout le temps les prendre à fou. Arrête, je les prends tout le temps, même le game normal. Il y a seulement un Français, Ariel, Annoncié, c'est français. Il a 2 kills. Ariel et Merci, c'est des Français. T'as vu comment il est dit, t'as fou direct qu'il sort. Il panique à fond. Avoue, moi je serais dès la mort par la zone. Hein. La zone tellement elle va vite à fou.
It's best to not try and go for the play, especially in finals. If this is, semifinals, go for it, right? Like at worst, you're just set back a game, you can re-queue and everything's okay, but in finals, every single interaction does matter. So for Ariel, he could have potentially challenged for that high ground, but it's like, I just kind of use my heavy snipe. I don't have that key. Take a moment, reload, gather more information, and because of just that slight pause, he's now in top 15. He found an Elam, which he was hunting for before. He just finds it in another place. And now he's still just continuing. He picks up a rift to go as well. Heavy snipe gonna be
Je sais pas pourquoi il a fait cette technique.
So now, I mean, he's
tellement la map à fou. Même ça, en créatif, je fais même pas ça, fou.
See if he can squeak out a victory.
Ce serait bien une moving zoom comme ça.
Things unfolding. Kalen goes down to Samurai. Sosman still alive. Mid-tart putting down pressure.
La dernière, c'est chaud à foutre. Ils sont encore 11. Ronald, saison, chacun a gagné.
Sosman hears the shadow bombs kind of thrown all around him. What's he gonna do here?
He's just on the hunt. Ah ouais, et il y a ceux qui veulent qualifier, il y en a seulement 8 ou 9, je sais pas c'est quoi. Et on le voit pas sur les... Et on le voit pas à travers les murs. Hein. Fortnite, il est chaud à fou. Ouais, le rocket a bugué. Il y a Squall.
Destroy builds all the way around. And look, Ariel as well up on the high ground has him. So the first rocket from Ariel comes in, and then Sosman's second finds an elimination. Another rocket from Ariel up on the high ground. And look at this. Down below, they're just desperately trying to keep their builds up, and they're burning through mats. Sosman is now out. And look, he gets challenged from the front, challenged from the right, finds the 2 players, and he makes this a 1v1, but look at his HP right now. First rocket's going to come in. How is he going to pull this off, Monster?
I don't know if he can. He doesn't really have much going for him. 24 health.
He picked up 500 metal from 0 to 500. 50 builds. This is huge. If those get fully built off, they're going to absorb an entire rocket and still stay built. But wait, dude, this is a tough spot. Oh. That's a tall ass. That's a tall ass.
Really was 200 HP on Ariel with the RPG as well.
C'est bon, moi je veux jouer à fond. Flemme de regarder. Dans la prochaine game, on va regarder. T'as vu comment ils vont vite à fond. Ninja, ouais, il peut pas se qualifier. Le pauvre. Il est trop fort à skip. Tous ceux-là qui sont forts, Docteur Lupo là qui était là, tous ceux-là qui sont là, ils peuvent pas se qualifier. Parce qu'ils sont trop forts. Vous les pauvres fous. Zach. Vas-y, on va où? La fois, moi, j'ai mis tout barbue à part la planche. J'ai mis épée de biche. Ah, Discord, c'est un bon truc, ça passe pour parler. Que j'ai liquidé, il faut qu'il casse la tête. Truc à fond. Un cauchemar avec un pompe tactique gris. Ouvert, je sais pas alors. Ta mère la dinde, la reine des dindes. Ah ouais, mais mon rocker il s'enlève. Flemme de refaire alors. Hein. Ah, je regarde. Nitro. Purée, je crois que c'était Mitro. C'est les Français ou je sais pas, me finit XD. Ah non, c'est les Japonais. Je vois 4 milliards de Japonais. C'est comme un film. Avant, il y a écrit un truc rouge que tu peux pas éditer, édite quand même.
Oh man, targets hit with the shadow bomb. Don't forget, guys,
that animation,
while you're in shadow bomb as well, you're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You can take damage. You're not invincible in the shadow bomb form.
Man, Charmy is just burning through materials. That was a pretty rough rotation. It's probably going to cost him in the long run, because, I mean, he did go through quite a bit of mats, but... you know, Monster, I like to pose this question. I've already posed it to Pookie. I've posed it to Kitty. You know, you guys are members of the community. You know, you've taught so many of us different things. You know, you've got a podcast. In case you know who Monster D-Face is, go send him a follow. He's incredible. But you've been in situations like this, right? You've played in Summer Skirmish. You played in, I think, Fall Skirmish as well, right?
Yep.
You know, we went to Korea together to watch the Korea Open. So you understand what these players are thinking. For maybe people that are kind of new to Fortnite, that maybe this might be their first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them?
Yeah,
like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsu thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like obviously initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here, nice little trap play. So just even every single decision can be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off all plans for escape.
Right.
Something small like that. Here, editing his way down, right? He does not have an escape plan. That elim right there is going to give him a launch pad, of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way competitive players play zone, they typically like to hug the zone. They never give too much, they don't take too much real estate in the end moments. They take their time and kind of hug the zone instead, flirt with that
Nassim.
So many little different things that come into competitive play, and you can really just nitpick and break it all apart. It's so crazy in the highest levels.
Yeah, I just love talking about that stuff. I'm not great at articulating my thoughts with that kind of stuff. I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to tell you a thing.
It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it. It's just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other BR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me to this game specifically. So we are looking at Moffin, who pulled through, man, took it right underneath the feet of people like Aim Hero that Zeke and I had. We had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sinnoh out there.
We met him.
We met all, dude. It's like so surreal, dude,
yeah,
right?
Dude. I remember that story so.
Le japonais il est mort.
We met him because we were like, we're like in almost like a green room waiting to go.
Yeah.
And we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh, hey, like, hi.
Matter of fact, remember, there was like this divider, I was standing over it, and they were like, Zeke, I love you.
And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, you're Zeke, and you're Monster D-Face. And we were like, wait, oh, first of all, congratulations, Moffin XD. You know, we know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the Victor Royale, 21-point game, massive lead for him. But yeah, I remember, and then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster, and you're Zeke. And I was just like, what the heck?
That was definitely crazy to think outside the country.
Yeah, that was what was
we're
so...
out the country.
This
is Fortnite on a global scale here.
Man.
J'ai récemment déconné, toi tu prends tout ça.
Like
Muffin XD, il a gagné.
We have not made a full year casting Fortnite.
Dis-moi comment il campe au
This thing
début.
is just like exploded.
Wow.
Snipe!
C'est toi qui as acheté tout ça.
Hein?
T'as acheté tout ça.
Wow,
c'est
what
pas
a
moi.
massive shot coming
Moi
out
qui ai
of
pris
Moffin.
seulement ça de lâcher le moment.
31 players left. He's already on 6 eliminations. This guy is crazy, and this is who is going to the World
Il a
Cup
pas
finals.
cheaté, il est bête.
This is the level of play we will see in the finals.
C'est ta classe ou tes potes?
Moffin's gonna have to bring it. When you put a player who's only experienced one region, let's just say, against the likes of the rest of the world, who knows what region is really going to come on top. Keep in mind, too, though, guys, you know, and the American region, the European and American region, will, of course, have a larger presence just off of the sheer numbers. So it is going to be interesting how the top 20 turns out, especially considering, you know, some presence a little less than others, but I mean, all these guys are equally skilled.
That's right.
In some capacity. They're all deserve to be there. All of them.
You know what's funny too is we interviewed, in case you missed it earlier, go back and check out the VODs. We actually interviewed Sozman, the winner from OCE. And, you know, he was just basically explaining, like, you know, we asked him, how do you feel about going into the Fortnite World Cup Finals? And he was like, oh, you know, OCE plays differently than NA does. And it's going to be interesting for me going to finals and competing against that because we just play so differently. So I almost, in my head, like, I just imagine everyone kind of playing their own game going into finals. But at the same time, like, you got to think, this is a $30 million prize. This is huge. You know, the biggest stage ever.
For different places. I mean, but that goes against everyone else too, though.
Sure.
Because that means, like, oh man, just think about it.
I think finals gonna have its own meta.
They're gonna have a style, and of course the pressure's gonna be high, guys. I think the real question is who's gonna have the confidence to take a fight and win a fight. Like, who is straight up gonna have the confidence and just be like, you know what, I don't respect your builds, I'm pushing you. Like, who's gonna be that guy, right? Because that's really what it's up. If you are confident like that. That's why you see people like Bugga, Dubs, Clicks, right? Stompy. They were like, what duo are you? I don't care if you're Kinstar. I'm gonna
mon truc, il est en train de bugger là, mon Fortnite, parce que je sais pas, il commence à faire des freezes. Je relance Fortnite, je veux voir ce qui se passe. Il fait que faire des freezes. Non mais genre je le vois tirer, mais ça dure 1000 ans, genre. Ça veut dire qu'il est en plein heure.
Let's say it's just Zeke, me, and I'm in this game.
Chez moi,
I don't know, some
il est encore en l'air chez moi, je sais pas.
And I'm fighting off against someone like Moffin, who qualified as that #1 player going into finals. I cannot stop and sit here and go, that's Moffin. I know what he's capable of. I can't make a mistake. I just have to go. It doesn't matter who that is.
Direct qu'il a, mais regarde, il sort de fight direct.
My game. I have to play the very best that I can.
Et je m'en bats les couilles, je ne veux pas le lancer.
Right? Like the moment you stop and think. That's Tfue, I think, that it's already
Quand je relance seulement le live,
right? Like,
et
you can't
rond,
stop and
je
some people
remets.
can't, they're like, okay, I know that's Tfue.
Comment ça bug, attends.
Based on what I've seen and information
Chargement court,
but if you're just sitting there thinking like, oh man, that's Tfue, I don't know if I can fight him, like, No, you can fight him. You've made it to finals 4.
Non, là, ça a carrément freeze, là. Ah, voilà.
Yeah, it's also gonna get crazy, too, because for Fortnite World Cup, if you guys don't know already, we're going through full games. The early game story, the contestant, the points of interest, who likes to land where the map's gonna be at that point. Right?
Wow!
Things are gonna change, and the game is gonna be played in a way that we have not seen yet. And that's what excites me the most, is that we're gonna see 100 of the world's
best. Il had 12 best.
Under one hub. The Fortnite World Cup.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Le pauvre Finlande, surqualifié. Ah, faut tellement le mec là, comment il s'appelle? Elle nous pune à fou.
It's literally you're gonna feel the vibration of the entire stadium.
Just erupt when incredible plays happen, you know.
Oh man.
Man. Ooh, dude, chills, dude.
T'as vu?
Oh yeah, we just missed.
Moi, tous ceux qui sont là, ils me
butent
direct.
You had that moment with the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Are you ready?
Même s'il a 0 que ça veut rien dire. Ah voilà, il a
Alter Ego here finds an elimination. Cracked that player. Now this is his first elim. He's probably hoping for more, right? At this point, he wants as many points as possible. He's gonna look to probably play a little bit.
Non, l'autre avec pune, c'est pas il dit.
Look at everyone else. Muffin, the #1 player who came through for Asia.
Par contre, me Phoenix, DF, ici.
12 eliminations, by the way. He has just been shutting it down while we've been chatting up the storm here. Moffin going for the high ground. He's holding it. Nice little side jump right there.
Tellement ça construit, il va encore construire comme ça.
Boombo to crack open all the builds. Nice little 82 right there. Here comes the pressure. Can he get the follow-up? He's looking for it. Nice little side jump, and that's another one. This player is in pickaxe territory. Bye-bye, Jack.
Et la dernière zone.
Moff could not even get the loot off that. Couldn't get the spoils. Another Boombo.
C'est dommage qu'on peut pas regarder la map.
When a fresh build comes out, if you do not hesitate, you send a Boombo right away, you break it all open. So that's how he's able to just like catch these players off guard because
Ice d'autres, pune.
That's it.
Ouais, le Bambi, il s'est pris ses dégâts, je suis d'accord.
One elim there and it's.
Et c'est pas le même live.
Going toe to toe. Mob still just has the dominant.
Parce qu'ils ont fini à 2 styles. Ils ont fini à 2 styles. Et là, il finit à côté de truc de Salty. Ah non, même pas. Il finit au désert.
Boom, he says, I know you heard me take this fall damage.
You don't know how much it was.
They go for the challenge and Muffin was prepared. He knew.
Comment il y a le Bambi chinois là? 3 kills et l'autre il a. Oh, il est... Non, ah voilà, mais Phoenix Z avec 15 kills. Là, ça veut dire là, il est qualifié. Mais Phoenix Z, il peut pas être qualifié. Et il peut être qualifié là.
25-point game. That's literally doubling his score out of nowhere. If you were in the top 10 and you had that.
Non, top 8, tu dois être qualifié. Si t'es top 9, tu peux pas.
We've had an awesome time, but for now, we're gonna hit pause. Let's send it back into studio with Dr. Lupo, because I believe the doctor is in.
What a terrible, repetitive joke, but I appreciate the effort. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Crazy games from Asia and Oceania. You love to see kind of the meta changes and how different
le
present
lutin,
themselves and the way that
ce qu'il est sorti, je sais même pas quand.
relative to everybody else. But
ils ont collection
Europe today, and as we've seen multiple times in the past, Europe has done an excellent job of putting on a show like I think few people could even possibly imagine. And to talk about that and an interesting turn of events.
Aftercount, ils sont trop bien. J'ai envie d'avoir ça dans mon secteur.
What do you think so far about Europe?
Thank you so much, Lupo. Indeed, it was
Ils ont même le drop.
Just a couple of quick facts I want to write down. 15 points separated 100th place and 8th place. That means a 5-point victory route was the difference of going to New York City and being in the 100th spot. That is absurd for how close it was. Blackso, in that final game we watched, pushed him up to 61 points. He was tied at 61, but because he had the victory royale and got the average elim at the end, it pushed him into the last spot. We talked about how every single interaction
on veut voir des mecs qui savent bien
edit
du combat, moi. Je veux pas
Airwatch, the last play we saw,
il parle 10 000 heures.
One more build. He could have made it up.
C'est vrai, ils ont même pas mis sous-titres.
Lost the victory royale and lost his spot in New York City.
Moi, le seul Mitro, il est qualifié. Le seul truc que je comprends, c'est qualifier et les noms.
The player who took the top spot was Cyphers in Dreda with
ouais,
a crazy run, and we're going to be joined by him right now.
Ouais, noob, victory.
How are you feeling?
Et Bambi en anglais, c'est default.
I'm feeling very good.
C'est qui lui?
I mean, I would hope so. So we saw you yesterday put on an incredible show in week.
La vie, il était même pas dans la game.
Have gone up.
J'ai même pas vu son pseudo dans la game une fois.
And all of the other weekends, were you just feeling it? Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast? What's going on?
The thing is, the other weeks I wasn't that confident, but this week I decided to try and talk with someone while playing.
So
that kind of helped. Getting to like talk.
Ils sont sur Discord.
Down and stuff.
Ils sont en FaceTime.
And I got good RNG. Very good.
Nice, yeah. Being able to get all of that and put it together.
Skype, je comprends, mais
Discord, FaceTime, c'est run, winning 2 of your first 4 games. How were you able to get those victories? Did you just dominate them out? You had a solid amount of elims. What were those wins?
Fortnite, ils sont riches, mais je comprends pas, ils veulent arrêter le jeu.
I was to get the end game, and then I usually found out like when I needed to drop out and stuff to go for the eliminations, and I usually had my bowler until end game. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until end game, because it's really strong. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win game. Also, you can use the bowler to get high.
Yeah.
So I did that sometimes.
We saw you execute on that a number of times, which is
il a changé de Dr. Lupo.
Pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive.
Bon,
Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead, and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you're in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to
Oh,
know that, especially in Europe, which we
qualifié.
talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But
Il est qualifié de cible là, FaceTime.
I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching?
Il est qualifié.
I'm actually watching.
Je sais pas, il était même pas dans une seule game, il est qualifié
There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please shout out your own channels, shout out your duos channels, anybody you want to.
Okay.
Oh, le bâtard.
So my Twitch is Andretta.
Regarde son vieux setup, parfois il joue dans la salle de base.
My Twitter is Cypher Andretta.
Il joue dans la cuisine.
My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out.
La chaise à...
Support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City, and as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. Seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Ouais.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24 right now.
Jure.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him.
Quel
For
rave,
getting
quel
emotional
rave.
in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch. Give him all the plugs because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment, but we have more games and more regions to be getting into. We saw Oceania and Asia just now. We're going to hop on in to Brazil for a brief little bit. Back over to the cast.
Thank you guys so much.
Ah, c'est fini.
You know, I feel like we've just nerded out about
Je suis en train de
Fortnite,
montrer les
but now
replays
seeing
là.
Andretta be there and just like talk about things, it makes me want to nerd out more.
Dude, it gives me the feels, man. These young champions coming up and coming out, and it's crazy. Like he said, he just knew he made it, because if you look at the track history of all the players who've qualified so far, I say it every week, it only takes about 5 or 6 games. That's all it takes. If you get 5 or 6 aces, just solid games, big points, big placement, you're knocking on the door. All you got to do is not choke the rest. Just ease it out. Just ease it out. Get a couple here, get a couple there. Secure the deal, and Andretta knew 5 games in, oh my gosh, I think I got the 5 that I really needed to make it to New York City. And that was it. That was like literally it. Long behold, though, he gets first in the whole thing. European, the toughest region, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the toughest regions. Of course, you can't take away from West, who sometimes only gets 1 spot. You know, OCE, Asia, and Brazil, of course, they only get 1 spot. It's crazy. That's arguably harder, but when you're talking about mass player pool,
je comprends pas. RK, il dit n'importe quoi dessus.
Well, especially for Andretta, I had a card not that long ago kind of saying a few of his placement spots. Last week, we watched him end in 610th place. And now, the last solo week, now to see him in the final week come out as that #1 player, you know, that's just, you know, I was supposed to be like, you know, there's 8 spots, and if you hit one of 8, great, awesome, I've qualified, great. But to be able to say, of that 8, I was #1. Look, you know, Tifus of the world, you guys need to respect my game. I came in #1 in Europe. That's why I'm here in the finals. Like, let's go. It's going to be insane.
Pascal, no!
So much. 23 people left in the current monster hopping in storm 6. Now, guys, don't forget, we are hopping into Brazil games. These are live. From there, we had the timer. We're about a minute 30 or so left on queue times. Don't forget, it's 10 games. Not 40. Okay, I was close. Darn. I was just off by 10. We have either that 3-hour window or to play whichever comes first. And then obviously we're gonna, you know, make sure that, because don't forget, you can queue up even with those last few seconds and then play out an entire match. We want to just make sure everyone has enough time to wrap up their games, get those standings out. But here we go, Peru. Hop into with him, 100 ping. All right.
J'ai envie d'Europe, hein. Comme ça, je vois quelqu'un que je connais.
Brazil known for another.
Mais il n'y en a pas beaucoup en Europe.
Have to pick up heavy elimination, secure placement points.
Non.
This is not just
tu dis normal. Le Bouzeux, je crois pas que le Bouzeux il est fort, hein. Il est pas fort le Bouzeux. Michou il va pas venir, ça se voit. Michou j'aime pas.
Yeah, you definitely want to look up. You never want to make that happen because you waste a secondary launch pad, but it's okay. New rotation coming out, he's got to reassess. He's going to be able to get himself to safety. Now, he's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region.
Imagine le Imat qui devant 11 school disque qualifié.
Just to name one, you know, the ex-owned King. So many talented players.
Je savais même pas comment faire pour se qualifier.
Also from Red, you know, man, there's so many players here this spot to go to. Tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, Kin, I'm going to go ahead and shut you down. You took that launch pad, I need it, and that's what helps him make the rotation.
Ooh, but he does get hit by a combat. It's Ice who's in the high ground, so Peru's now found himself in a dire situation.
Non. Il y a truc, Faris, il a aussi, Faris aussi. Ouais, il a aussi. Je sais même pas comment il fait. Non, j'ai vu, il a montré les photos. Je lui ai demandé comment il a fait. Je dis, c'est normal parce que je joue beaucoup de fois à Fortnite.
Crazy storm that he's in right here. He can't even heal. And nice little shot. Fran, he catches him in the toe. It's going to keep him in the game here.
This is huge, man. He's already on 8 eliminations. When we talk about elimination counters, especially on finals, 8 is massive. You know this player has been on a spree. And look at this. Clipnote looking to play it out as technically as possible.
Moi, il fait pas peur.
Angles, waiting for people to turn their backs and send shots over. I think he's trying to go for the wall replace.
Yeah, he hit this guy for
one. Yanis, Yanis.
Take this right here. He's got to be careful though.
T'es mal réflexe à fou.
Turns around, it's Peru, who was in a weird spot before. He was very low on health. Turns around, someone else goes down to the
le pauvre. Tilpedo. Ah ouais, ça se voit que c'est des Brésiliens. Tilpedo. Et Aksaku.
Holding up the high ground right now.
Neymar 9-8, imagine. Oh, c'est Tilpendo. Nintendo, il a gagné Nintendo. Les clips Nodo, je sais pas quoi. Avoue, il construit pas beaucoup à Brésilien. Brésil, il construit pas beaucoup. Océanie, tu sais pas comment. T'as vu?
moving on in. Man, he popped
C'est
that
quoi
ghost
ça,
right in the
Afou?
sky.
C'est
Maybe
quel
he could
pays,
fall on
Afou? Il
the
construit
Ghost
jamais.
Buster. Shoutouts to Jeff. I made your joke. We're gonna high five after this from production.
Take his joke?
Yeah, he wanted me to make a joke on broadcast, so I did it. Again, guys, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give production some love. There's so many people that work so hard to make this all possible.
Oh, il fixe, Afou. C'est truc anglais là, c'est anglophone. C'est pas comment il est fort, Afou.
So just say hashtag Fortnite World Cup production team. You guys are awesome. That would mean the world to me and to them. An hour. Yeah, an hour and a half. I guess 36 minutes. I'm just gonna be specific because everyone's always like.
Afou, on est encore sur le serveur Brésil, Afou. J'ai même pas envie de regarder Brésil comme tellement c'est nul, Afou. J'ai même pas envie de regarder. Ok, anglais, Océanie, ok. T'as vu, c'est Game Zone, ils auraient construit hein, au lieu que les Océanie, comment ils construisent.
Ooh, you saw it, he was like, dude, I want this elim, I worked real hard, I need to find it.
Tu sais que les streamers, ils peuvent stream hack aussi. Mais là, ici, dans un local.
Don't forget, with those recent changes, you gotta be more careful, man. That 60-second timer, you can't play around with that.
Dude, he must have, I can only imagine in shadow form, if you wall hop off of a structure and it throws you back just a little bit. It must have been just enough to hold him into the storm.
Yeah.
And that's how Fax caught that elimination here. As the congestion, this is unreal for the Brazil region. You don't see it get this crazy, but 40 players basically on a non-moving zone right now.
Oh, il est mort.
The first Luco boy finds Mew Pao.
Il y a un mec qui s'appelle Luso Boy.
He's putting in some pressure as well. Just kind of seeing what he can find here. Just waiting on by, trying to.
C'est Nersok Boy du Brésil.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it away because if you put it down early, it doesn't make that sound.
Le pauvre il a un
All
an.
right, community launchpad. There you go. Great. You making
Je crois qu'il avait bugué. Afou, ils sont 35, Afou. À la 6ème zone, c'est pas possible.
We're nowhere. It's still 9 players. 8 players need to fall before top 25.
Yeah, this is actually insane right now. These guys are sticking around for placement in these final moments here. But if you want to take first place, you got to get Elans here, and that's why Fax is being so proactive right now.
Something to point out too, check the right side of your screen. The damage threshold,
124.
don't forget about that. Look at this number though, 1,000 damage above the threshold. This guy is putting in work right now. Fax, he is going full send. He is aware. He wants to try and qualify. Remember, there's a spot up for grabs in Brazil. These are live games happening right now. So, you know, Oceania and Asia happen overnight.
Afou, tellement il reçoit de la construite quand il a plus de construit.
Coming out of the final solo week for Brazil.
Yeah, Fax is already at.
C'est les serveurs qui font ça ou je sais pas.
He's way ahead of the curve here. This might be about his third or so, but
Ils sont à 28 à la 7ème zone, c'est pas possible.
Some respectable points to be had. He's going for the
regarde, Afou, 7ème zone, t'es à 25. Le que les autres, ils étaient à 17.
And now, he's in it, but he's gonna go down.
Ouais, Fou, t'as vu? Regarde, moi je dis Fax ou je sais pas, Fortnite, je sais pas quoi là, il va perdre.
He's gotta be extremely careful. Lucky for him, the high ground is in a battle of its own now. Fax catches a moment to regather himself as Ganks and Lorax is in the high ground.
Man, and look at all these players coming in
Ah,
from
qu'il c'est
the
un point,
community
Fou.
launchpad,
Et top 1, c'est 10
any
points.
rotational tools they have,
pour ça-
ready to go. Oh, yeah.
Ouais.
It's a weird place to be, man. You can't build anything.
Batata frita.
Up and over.
A shot
Batata
into the
frita.
storm.
What?
Oh my, that is
Non,
12
il a
on
pas
top two.
touché.
Tate as well. Frita, batata frita.
T'as vu comment il dit?
Elimination
Oh, that one's just yours from him. He almost had it. But credit still to be happy as he is turning up right now.
Bro,
I can't pronounce that the way Zeke did.
Non, non.
Batata frita is going
Afou,
in
il
right
touche
now.
même pas, Fou.
He's looking for this high ground.
you see the technical builds too, using the cone and then hopping out around, using that floor to catch yourself so you kind of save a build there? All right, batata frita. I'm about it. An 82 and a follow-up. That is Lorax.
And he got the mats. That's what's important here. He does have the materials to hold out now. The high ground is his. Can he stick it out though? Yes, players are dropping right now. We're in top 6
Apparaît, genre, t'as pas
so all
montré,
these
t'as pas
placements
fait
being
vidéo.
divvied out. Just one more person goes down and just a little bit more is going to be rewarded to him here.
Man,
you can see the shot there.
This was really good from him, right? Making the decision to go high ground. Look at this. It's put him in the top 5. We were top 25 when we kind of tuned into him, right around there. And because of his decision making, he's gotten himself all the placement points. The victory route is the next threshold. And look, Monster, he's just looking to close this out.
That's right, and I love it because he's just textbook holding his high ground, but he is out of mats now, so this is where you have to go down.
Ah ouais, mais fais rediffusion, tu peux regarder.
I believe that is Avalar.
C'est genre, il y a Master X, replay, menu game.
At some point. He's gonna go toe to toe with that player though, and that is it. Good day, sir.
Jure.
Did he get mats off that? He didn't, Zeke.
He's got the flint knock though. He's got.
T'inquiète, Batata frita, c'est qui?
One more shot to Wonder Deer. Wonder Erzin is gonna go down. Is he gonna go down? Yes, he is. Frita connects in the final moments right there.
Batata frita a gagné.
Sixth elimination victory royale.
Et moi, c'est le Brésil, hein. Pas possible, il faut camper.
Now, Fortnite fam, you know we've had so much fun hanging out with you, but for now, let's sit back in the studio and see what Dr. Lubo's got.
Tous les box, il y avait blinded box.
I know a lot of people are wondering, and yes, we're going to look at it here in a second, because the tension in Brazil is high. South America putting on an excellent show, and we want to see what the standings are, so I'm going to take a little stroll on over.
Mais là, c'est World Cup, c'était pas un bon World Cup. Hein. C'est seulement genre arène. Voilà, arène. Batata frita, non, il est pas qualifié. Batata frita.
Only King 45, just 6 points behind, and only 3 games played. You see the spread here, not too far away from each other. Multiple players from previous qualifying weeks.
Gameplay head.
King.
Allez, il regarde aussi les games. Hein. Victoire 2-1-1.
They've already punched their ticket to New York City, but consistency is key, as you can see here. An example of exactly that. Love to see it, Brazil. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us so far, putting on an excellent show. But before we get into the rest of the games of the day, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, so don't go anywhere except for maybe to the bathroom. Sorry, half hour. I do this every time. Production yells at me repeatedly. I don't know how to tell time, all right? 30 minutes. Go get some lunch. Swing on back. See you in a bit.
Ouais, allô? Ils se partent à Frosty. Ils sont en duo. Pourquoi il a ping ce type? Il a... Wow. Tellement comment il va vite avec la boule. Ah, je me dis comment ils font ça avec leur sourire. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Ah, je crois que c'est un plan. C'est ma fou. La souris elle est en train de crever à fond. Mais un coffre, pourquoi il a pas tout. Pas de chance. Il a pas d'arme. Up, next, not easy. Pourquoi c'est en mexicain ou je sais pas, fou, il y a écrit not easy à fond. Not easy ou je sais pas quoi. Il va aller à la maison Yeti là. Pire spawn au monde. Ouais, mais ça va être nul là. Oui. Ah, vu, je le connais même. C'est ça que je me disais. Ça donne aucune construit, il va quand même casser. Ouais, regarde, il a déjà un pompe, il a déjà une AR, pourquoi il prend le petit pistolet? C'est fou à faire. Il veut crever. Imagine, il meurt à fond, je rigole. Lâche, lâche, lâche. Allez, hein. T'as vu? Ça se voit que sa souris, elle veut crever. Hein. Elle fait casse tout qui va sur ce chemin. Il y a des gens qui ont... Il y a des mecs qui ont pas de nom. Regarde sur le truc là. Tu vas voir, il y a des mecs qui ont pas de nom. Il y a des mecs. Il y a un mec ici à fou. On va prendre le coffre là. Je sais pas qu'est-ce qu'il fait. On dirait il y a un mec qui va vers lui. Ah non, il a préféré. T'as vu? Ah fou les rochers, les petits rochers ça donne blindé hein. Tellement on dirait qu'il connaît les spots à fou, il connaît les arbres, il dit ah ouais cet arbre ça va donner blindé de bois. Ah fou aussi. Tu savais même pas. Ah fou si ça sera tournoi Apex, je te dis ça va être la guerre. Ça va pas être comme Fortnite genre MLG tout ça. Ça va être pire à fou. Jure. Abonnez-vous à Khinassim. Il fait du bon contenu, vous inquiétez pas. Moi aussi je vais mettre en live, hein, diffuser.
Qui gagne pour l'instant? Qui gagne pour l'instant? Regarde le classement s'il te plaît.
C'est qui? Tu vas sur ton live.
Tu sais à quelle heure?
Et tu vas... Bah va sur ta chaîne YouTube. Bah, normalement il y a écrit.
Et vois ce que tu fais, tes abonnés ou pas?
Ah si. Allô. Ah ouais. Mon truc il bug, hein, je te dis déjà. Oh yo, ça bug, hein. Ça freeze. Ah, je relancé, je crois. Ouais, mais tu dois avoir un PC, tu vas sur YouTube Worker et tu peux voir tout.
Eén keer.
Oké, maar oké. Maar dingen, Ilias, hoeveel mensen kunnen we in jouw eiland?
16.
Oké.
Nee, maar ik bedoel van de spawnpit.
Maar hoeveel
spawndingen zijn daar? Hoeveel spawndingen zijn daar?
5.
Wat?
Maar Novel is toch ook online?
Niet bouwen. Er zijn maar 5 in, hè. Doe nog.
Niet kapot maken, diks kapot.
Waar is healing?
Stop om dat kapot te maken.
Hoe ben je zo poep eiland? Waar zijn de healing en zo?
Wacht, ik ga dat nu doen, die healing.
Geen healing, dat hoeft niet.
Jawel.
Healing hoeft niet.
Jawel, ik wil healing. Ik wil dat.
Is niet.
Stop.
Niet bouwen. Wat doen jullie? Nee.
Maar niet willen niet bestaan.
Ja, willen, ja.
Ga gewoon hier blijven, ja? Nee.
Wie mom is dat je doet?
Hier blijven. Nee, hij is goed.
Kom toe naar jouw eiland. Doe je weg jullie allemaal gooien.
Kom eens naar mijn eiland. Nee, naar mijn eiland. Maar kijk, ik ga een eiland doen. Zotte eiland, alsjeblieft, laat me dit doen. Kom eens. Rafa, kom eens.
wat is dat?
Kom allemaal.
Dat zie ik kan niet meer.
Kom.
Oké, kom. Heb je een eiland?
Kom allemaal.
Oké, ik ben erin.
Nee, mijn eiland, dat is illegaal. Kom
oké.
Oh my god, sorry.
Zo was ik kom. Ik kan er niet in.
Zie je.
Ken dit aan.
Ja. Ik wou dat niet doen, ik zie jullie doen dat.
We gaan maar naar hier.
Misschien een eiland.
Ik kan niet meer.
Kan hij ons telefoon niet wegdoen of zo?
Maar hij praat niet meer, Ilias.
Dat is wel met.
Dit is de oude zon waar, dat is de oude.
Ja, als nog.
Ja, dat zie je, ja.
Ik heb wat leggen.
Van wie? Mais je crois pas que nous avons donné un téléphone.
Praat Nederlands. Het ding is er, Ilias is er wel. Wat niet met treffers spul.
Maintenant.
Oh ja. Ga Frans, man.
Ik ga dat door mijn moeder, want ik ga dat door.
Ja. Hij is dit nou weer, ja. Hij kan niet uitleggen.
Hij kan geen les geven. Oh, je bent ding weggedaan met mijn Erik die dat nu pas.
Wat?
Zie, ja.
En over is gejoined. Ja, nog een.
Abdom Ilias. Simpel. Ilias, simpel. Hoe kan ik heb hem gedempt, dat is wel irritant.
Wie de fuck is Gaboubi?
Waar zijn
jullie?
Gabiboubi.
Gabiboubi.
Eerst Wigger, zeg eens. Mohammed, zeg eens tegen Imran Mohammed. Een demper daar, man.
Hij is ook aan het spelen. Ga dat nu doen. Mohammed.
Ja?
Met me of niet?
Ja.
Start game te beginnen.
Zeg eens tegen hem.
Maakt niet uit, dat gaat
Mohammed.
Ja.
Mohammed.
Mohammed. Ja, is het? Ja.
Zeg tegen iemand hij mij terug moet in YouTube.
Nee, om dump Ilias.
Dingen is in
Oké, stop met die geluid, Ilias.
Ah nee, dat is wat gezegd.
Ik zie gewoon dat het is Ilias is en geen Imran. Is wel.
Wat zei je? Dat je kwam?
Hamid.
Ja, wacht even.
Ja, ik meen dat niet. Wie heeft mijn eiland kapot gemaakt?
Oh ja, man.
Maar wie heeft mijn eiland kapot gemaakt? Wie heeft mijn eiland kapot gemaakt? Wie dat heeft gedaan? Echt, ben ik boos op hem.
Shit, mijn vader.
Wat doet jij?
Nee, op je hoofd houden.
Ilias.
Moeder. Doe niet net genoemd je moeder.
Hey,
snel game er opnieuw in, man.
Maar waarom?
Dat gaat niet in endgame, dat gaat niet, dat had vanzelf, dat gaat niet.
Ik weet dat gaat niet.
Ja, dat gaat niet, dat is wel zonnebaar.
Maar elke foto van iemands eiland. En dan gaat je... Dan kun je...
Welke eiland? Welke zijn jullie? In die dingen? Ah, oké, zonnebaar. Zo. Ja, ik wist het niet. Op je hoofd. Klopt ja.
Weet je nog gisteren?
Ik heb geen honger.
Zeker dat.
Nee, dat is
Oei, Imran.
Iemand zwaar aan het lijf. Maar waarom spectate ik Gabby Bobby? Waarom spectate ik hem? Waarom spectate ik hem in het playground? Waarom moet ik geen spectaten? Ik kom net in een potje, ik spectate Gabby Bobby.
Huh? Hoeveel? Ik doe Imran.
Ja, ik weet niet.
Eindelijk.
Dat was naast jouw teen.
Mohammed, nee, waarom spectate ik weer al Gabby Bobby? يا النوبة صاحبي هذا دولار فين
والله
Gabby Bobby gangster Gabby Bobby. Ik moet nu mijn Fortnite opnieuw opstarten omdat ik niets anders kan doen. De moeder, wat komt dat? Wat moet ik nu doen? Ik spectate helemaal niks om thuis te doen. Oké, nu kom ik niet bij jullie denk ik. Mohammed, heb je gewonnen?
Ja.
Stop, met Maxi kom ik nu. Niet start game. Niet start game. Ga je neersteken. Niet start game doen. Nee, doe serieus.
Ga eens even buk doen. Ga eens allemaal buk doen. Kom dan terug, want ik ga
kom, ik ben er. Oké, stop. Ik ging Gabby Bobby spectaten, ik weet niet.
Dat lukt. Ik ben in de lucht ik ben bij de lobby. In de lucht. En ik heb de kill. Imran, ik heb de kill. Ik ga door.
Wij zijn nu aan het spelen.
Ik heb in één keer al loot hier. Ik weet niet wat ik ben aan het... Waar ben ik?
Amerika, hè?
Ik ben zo...
Maar ik heb vanaf nog niet gespeeld, maar één is een beetje nieuw.
Waar ben ik?
Wie bent je? Dat kan vader. Wie is dat? Ik ga nu zeggen wie dat is. Ja, leuk zus.
Ja, jij zus.
Hey, wie is dat?
Nassim, viens, on joue ensemble, ok?
Oh, maar kan neersteken.
Nassim.
Waar woont hij? Waar woont hij, Nassim?
Brussel. In Brussel.
Wow.
Dat is meer van Engeland.
Oh, ik kan echt slagen, hè? Oh, je hebt ze niet. Je ligt daar niet durven op zijn rij. Oh ja! Wat je?
12.
Oh ja! Oh ja! Als ik je ooit pak een check op te gaan doen. Mohammed, kom eens in hub. Kom eens gewoon naar hub. Ik ben het respawnen, ik ben in de lucht en ik ben in de hub.
Ja, ik ga nu dus bijna klaar.
Mohammed! Mohammed! Kom eens gewoon naar dingen lobby even en terug opnieuw. Hé, wie zijn jullie neefjes daar? Wie zijn jullie neefjes daar?
Van Engeland dan.
Goeie vrouw, bro, ik heb echt gewoon Nederlands. Zeker dat? Nee. Ik ben met uit een ton, want als mijn moeder zwanger is, dan duurt dat toch langer.
Ja, nee man.
Hier يا صاحبي.
وش
Wow. Oei, als ik hem ooit in echt zie, hè.
Weet je wie het weg is?
Nassim, stop.
Hij wil stop klaar.
Ik wil hem gaan doen.
Ja, dat is niet meer stop.
Oei, wow. Mohammed, hoe je weet niet weten wat geluk hij heeft, hè.
Wat doet je? Waarom?
Is er iemand?
Ik eet mij 100. Ja. Laat hem klaar.
Zwaaier!
Ja, naam is
je moeder! Wow, zo cool! Echt als ik heb, ik ga je neersteken.
Kom morgen naar Porgerhout.
Hij is daar al. Nee, afmaken.
Zeg gewoon, alsjeblieft, als hij ooit komt, hè.
Jezus, ik kap.
Ga je opeten? Ga je opeten?
Nee, niet naar beneden schiet, alsjeblieft.
Wat is die rare dingen? World Cup online,
Ah ja, je kunt kijken naar World Cup.
Die pizza.
Weet je, kijken naar World Cup. Oh, look.
Wat is die pizza?
Je kunt kijken naar World Cup, alleen de laatste.
Maar Mohammed, kom alsjeblieft, kom eens naar lobby.
Ja, dood.
Ja, wat doe ik? Ah.
Mohammed.
Ja. Kom de speel.
Oh ja, hij is echt irritant, hè.
Ja. Dub.
Wow.
Zie, dat is tegen zijn moeder, dat hij zo praat, Netflix. Ik bedoel,
Laat weg, hoe is weg.
Ja, veel praatjes, hè.
Missie is weg. Missie.
Voel weg.
Oh ja, kom mijn broodje geslagen erin. Mohammed, zijn nog bezig?
Nee, Joe, waar wacht jij op?
Ik ben terug, ik ben terug tot jullie dingen klaar is.
Hoe dat was? Ik ga mama verkrachten.
Wat had ik?
Dan gaat hij snitchen aan zijn moeder. Alsjeblieft, alsjeblieft. Dan ga ik gekke rampen krijgen. Zeker dat. Weet je, jij bent mijn moeder niet brengt, jouw moeder gaat jou verkrachten.
Ik ga hem zeggen, ik ga rammel.
Iles like that.
Hé! We zijn nog bezig.
Wie hoort dat heet de glide?
Ja.
Nee.
Je moet ze zo aan het leggen, dus denk iedereen.
Ja, dit is geen stick landing.
Ja, dit is stick landing 180 meter.
Ik wist dat. Ik kan bouwen in lobby, wil ik kan bouwen in lobby.
Ik weet het.
Ja. En ik kan dat niet weghakken. Ga je even je bek houden, Ellie. Oh, alsjeblieft, zeg dat ik zou moeten. Alsjeblieft, kom hem worden halen. Kom hem worden halen. Oh ja, dat is mooi.
Gewoon is
En moet ik dat ik zou moeten zeggen, ik heb haar nummer, hè.
Ja, dat is echt illegaal.
Illegaal.
Wow.
Die handicap.
Hoezo? Leeft er nog iemand?
Hij weet niet wat hij zegt, misschien laten.
Ik weet niet. Kijk, wie leeft er?
Meneer.
Doe suicide.
Hé, zeg ze, moet jullie klaar zijn?
Wie leeft er nog?
Zou het game niet opnieuw beginnen?
Ik heb gewonnen, of niet?
Ja, maar ik heb nu game opnieuw. Wacht even, die game nog niet starten.
De laatste.
Dat is van zelf.
Nee, maar doe serieus, man. Wat? Oh ja, wow. Ik kon hem niet echt vermoorden. Ik kon hem vermoorden.
Je weet dat hij de kost kleur, want hij met jouw moeder 11 keer.
Dat is echt niet.
Hij killt in het bed.
Waarom heb je dat gezegd?
Kijk, als je zit
mijn man. Tot ik jou ga pakken, gaan we zien.
Ja.
Als hij er is, als hij ook naar jou naar beneden komt, alsjeblieft, zeg dat. Alsjeblieft. Kan je het houden? Ik ga mijn agenda schrijven, ik ga mijn agenda schrijven. Notities in mijn gezin. Alles doen. Alles die voor de kracht gaan worden. Nee, ik lach met jou. Oh, nee. Oh, je bent echt illegaal Nederland? Dat kan niet anders. Een oude tasselap. Een tasselap. Niet tasselap.
Ja, wacht. Dit is de laatste.
Ik zit al half uur geleden.
Dit is de laatste.
Nope! Ah nee, sorry maar, ik dacht dat dat dingen was.
De persoon. Ik heb geen met.
Ja.
Ik heb een low. Nee. Kijk.
Ja, oké, ik ga niet doen.
Islam man.
Talla.
تمام. ايه صحيح.
يرموه.
وإياه. Echt, lekker. Echt doodmaken.
Ja.
Ta mère, mets la pluche qui peut faire café. Back, ton père. Wow. Zijn je niet met die halen? Het is kapjes halen.
Zijn kleine Piet, ja.
Ja, hij kan niet Piet. Dat Piet zit nog op zijn Piet. Was het zeker?
Zwaar vagina.
Nee, gaat Star Game of kom? Komt er Star Game of niet? Hey, kijk hem eens, wie spaart leader.
Negeer hem gewoon of demp hem.
Ik kan hem niet dempen, ik zie zijn naam nergens. Wie is dat? Hoe noemt hij? Noemt hij Nessim?
Ja. Nee, Nessim.
Ik weet dat. Maar ik zie nergens zijn naam in de lobby. Ah, wallah, wacht, ben ik killen. Nessim! Ja, kom,
Priva. Hij killt en ik krijg dat toch storm.
Nee, ik niet zo saai.
Je hebt zo'n mes.
Wie?
Ik kan een moeder, ja.
Ik heb nog nagedimd. Dus geen apparaat zeker nog te doen.
Zwaar dempen.
Oh, je krijgt eerst graag eerste wapen, graag Tuurlijk, passie. Geen opvoeding.
Dit herken me nog horen, ik ga anders doen.
Ja, ik ken jou hoor. Hij heeft gewoon geen opvoeding misschien, laat hem.
Ah, ik zie zijn naam ook niet.
Sim.
Ik maak hem heel te boos.
Ja, dat kon dan zijn moeder zeggen, maar
Ik heb hem naar beneden geschoten ook.
Maar wie is dat nu? Khinassim of Nessim?
Wat?
Is dat Khinassim of Nessim?
PlayStation met Khinassim.
Oh, is hij daar die Ili?
Is er verwond, man.
Ik wil maar, kom mijn boos maken, zodat de hele tijd in het begin doodgaan. Waarom praat je niet?
Lekker.
Ik kreeg van hem.
Monheid heeft hem.
Ja, monheid.
Ja.
Zeg gewoon maar.
Ah ja.
Ik heb vannacht niet gespeeld. Op een gegeven moment zeker heel dag aan het flikken.
Hoe niet? Ik was de hele tijd aan het leren, heel de dag.
Ik zit ook te leren. Eerst was ik naar plein gegaan, maar daarna zat ik te leren.
Ik was de hele dag aan het leren. Ik heb 8 uur of zo geleerd.
Yes.